Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting episode of WAdas podcast. And today, we're privileged to kukua na one of our female guests again. Another time, another awesome lady. Her name is Muso. Welcome, Muso, to the episode.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. How's your Saturday?
It's so good. It's so sunny.
It's so perfect.
The weather is awesome too.
Yeah.
Yeah, introduce yourself, please.
My name is Muso. I'm a producer and I'm a playwright here in Seattle. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya, 254, representing for sure. And I'm excited. I have so much coming up this year. Okay. So I'm excited to talk about it.
So far, we are halfway the year. How's the year been?
It's been good. It's been balanced. I think good things are prone to happen, but bad things are prone to happen as well, right? It's just life. But there's been good balance. And I've met a lot of people this year. So I feel like I'm re-energized. Meeting new people, making new connections. It's so nice.
You've said that you are a producer, you are a playwright.
Yes.
So what do you produce specifically, in a nutshell?
Yeah, I produce theater plays for now. Right now I'm producing my own translated play, Muso mpaka mizizi. And this is a translation of a 25-year-old play. So it was made in 1999, this original play. It's called Black to My Roots. It was written by Katya Alexander and Renisha Brown. They're Seattle-based.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's an African-American play about hair. And I worked with them last year when they had a sold-out show at Langston Hughes Performance Arts Institute here in Seattle. And I was like, when I was helping them with the production, I was like, wait, these stories kind of feel like home. You know, they're talking about hair salons over here, hair stories, hair experiences, hair journeys, with Black women specifically. And I'm like, okay, like these stories, they feel like home. They feel like what we go through. You know that salon when I wash and blow dry, salon / kinyozi. Yes, that's what it feels like. So I was like, I spoke with the playwrights, Katya and Renisha. Yeah. And we were like, okay, so what does this look like in Nairobi? What's the scene? And we workshopped it for weeks. And we were like, okay, let's write it in Sheng. Not Swahili, in Sheng.
You can speak Sheng?
I can speak Sheng.
Niko
sure, lakini siyo Sheng, yeah. Yeah, right now. You know, I'm not updated too much, but Sheng is a really big part of my life.
So let me ask you, did you just wake up one day and started to, ukamwa tu utakuwa playwright, ama how's the journey? Ilianzia wapi, ikadevelop ukakuwa sasa, you can now write your own plays, direct and produce your own plays. Yeah. And do you do as in short films? Do you do films? Do you do stage plays? What do you do?
Yeah. So right now I'm specifically doing stage plays, but that's not a permanent thing.
Okay.
I started plays when I was a youngin, Kadonyele in primary, kindergarten. You know, you do Christmas, Easter plays. I went to St. Christopher's in Nairobi, and they were very forward on arts and theater. Yeah. So since I was like 3, nikona pita nikiwa kwa stage.
Wow.
Nikiwa Mama Mboga, nikiwa Mary Magdalene, everything you can imagine. And so
the musicals, I guess.
Yeah.
The Christmas,
Easter musical, Christmas musicals, all those things. And then I went to Rusinga too, which was very like forward on arts
Rusinga
and theater.
Schools.
Yeah, Rusinga, yeah.
Group of schools,
yeah.
Freddy alikuwa public school huko Kangware.
Yes. Which one?
I went to Kangware Primary School.
Kangware Primary School, yes.
Rusinga was the dream school, you know what I mean?
Mulikuwa mnaipita, we were in Lavingware, that board over there. Yes.
So Freddy, by the way, ni kutoka Dago pia Kabiria.
Kutoka Kabiria? Hey, unakuwa na Rusinga?
Yes.
Mulikuwa ma landlords, eh?
No. Kabiria is ushago for me. Like real ushago, like my wuka, my shosho. Those, like, you know, Kabiria, the old Agikuyu that were in Nairobi.
Dagoretti South constituency?
Dagoretti South, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
okay.
I know. That land has been there since, I call her Shosho Forest. You know, my Nana, like, like great grandmother. Yeah, she lived there and we've lived there for a long time. So
now, since all of us were raised in Kenya and schooled in Kenya, and since we're talking about plays and productions, I wanna send my condolences to the Ngugi wa Thiong'o's family.
Ngugi wa Thiong'o, yeah.
Yeah, you know Ngugi wa Thiong'o, the man who wrote The River Between. Yeah, Ngugi Mazee, he passed on the other week. he was cremated, I think, yesterday.
Yeah.
So as WADAS podcast, we want to send our condolences to Ngugi wa Thiong'o's family and
Yeah.
friends. The man that shaped our high school days through literature, English literature.
I will marry when I want.
Yeah.
Decolonize your mind.
The man that has empowered a generation. The Gen Z revolution was inspired by Ngugi wa Thiong'o's plays.
Yeah.
Because he was a big critic of the government of the day. So since we went through the system of criticisms and plays and literature, I think we borrowed a lot from his plays and his critics and his playwrights.
Political writer. Freedom writer.
Yeah.
In fact, it was I Will Marry When I Want that sent him into exile, 1977.
Yes.
December 1977 to December 1978. 1 year. And then he relocated to the UK, and I think the other playwright, the other Ngugi, moved to Zimbabwe. And then Ngugi moved to the US, and I think he was teaching in California, University of California, Berkeley.
Okay.
He was teaching English
UCLA?
literature.
UCLA?
UCLA Berkeley, yeah. Ngugi is brilliant.
But now I'm confused. The government was fighting him, but then again, approving his books to be taught in schools as set books.
I mean, look at what's happening in Butere Girls right now.
Yeah.
That was a political play. That is very Ngugi of them to do. The government doesn't want the truth immediately. Wanataka baadaye. After you guys have forgotten, maybe you can explore your play and all of that, but I don't think, the government doesn't want the truth to be told. It's art.
Sorry, now that because you are a playwright and you do playwright, my plays ni kama kio cha jamii. You mirror what's happening in the community, trying to offer solutions and trying to correct them and trying to highlight them or to amplify them. Sindio? Now plays are normally measured on certain themes. So this month of June, we're celebrating mental health awareness month for the men.
Yes.
It's about month that we can encourage men to come up, to open up, talk about their struggles.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through something in life. So don't keep it inside as a man that you are a man. As a man up, stand up.
Yeah.
So it's a month that men are being encouraged to come out and speak about what they're going through. It's about correcting the stigma. I'm trying to avoid the stigmas around men being
toxic masculinity.
So as a playwright, what do you think about the mental health awareness month for the men?
I love it. I mean, we're doing a play in Langston this October called Black. Can I curse on this?
It's okay.
It's called Black Dick Matters.
Black what?
Black Dick Matters. It was actually written in the 90s as well by the same playwrights, and we're bringing it back to Seattle because of that conversation, because of men's mental health, men's suicide. It's a serious issue. Not only is it a serious issue in Seattle, Seattle is highly ranked in suicidal rates. But also back home, Nyumbani, how many people have we been seeing committing suicide? Men specifically, and it's businessmen, it's career men, it's men without jobs.
The men that you look up to.
Exactly. As a playwright, I think it's important to reflect what's going on in society, and I'm doing that. I mean, we're having that in October, and I'm excited to produce that play. And I think even in my own work, I just did a staged reading of my translated piece, which is basically like a sneak peek before production. And we spoke about femicide. We spoke about missing children. We spoke about Rose Njeri. This was before she was released. We spoke about Ngogi. And, things that have been relevant in society. We had Echoes of War.
Echoes of
playing
War.
In the background of our play to, give honor to those girls because they really did a big thing.
Big up.
Big up Butere girls.
Yeah.
And so, that's a part of my work is reflecting society. And I'm so blessed because, in arts, you can really point a finger. I mean, not with the person we have right now, but
figuratively,
you're able to directly address an issue and speak about it. And so, this is my...
So, according to stats, I'm consulting my Google, 6 million American men go through depression every year. Yeah. And in Kenya, it's almost the same, like 3 million every year go through depression.
Yeah.
And also we have a lot of many men committing suicide every year. Yeah.
It's a serious issue, by the way, and I think people push it back because of toxic masculinity. Be a man.
Be a man, bro.
Be a man.
When you
man up. Yeah. But that's so toxic because when do you guys get to process your emotions, because we're going through life the same things.
Yes,
We're
yes.
going through the same kind of traumas, and even what's going on in the government right now is so traumatic to a lot of people. There's a lot of unemployment in the youth. So much.
Na zingine are found in the marriages. Now, like now your wife telling you that, look at Keke. Keke is driving a big car. What about you? Mko naye same school. Ni best yako, mko naye base. What are you doing? Luck na life will happen very differently. Kila mtu ana path yake. But now, I'm a man, I'll stomach it. Unaona? Niseme, babe, I'm trying. Lakini kina ndani inanidunga. So nikitoka nyumbani na commit suicide, mama ananekea pressure.
Everybody.
Life pia happen. So mazee, if you're a man, kama uko na shida, just open up, seek support anywhere. Kama ni kwa pastor, kama ni kwa therapist, kama ni kwa best yako, just talk, man. If you talk, the more you talk, problem talk is problem have solved. Yeah. Now back to the plays.
Yeah.
So did you grow up wanting to be a Shakespeare or what? What was the inspiration to be a playwright? Not okay. Because now understand kuwa will transition from being an actress now kind to playwright, now to playwriting, na to production, na to managerial or ama directional. So nini ilikuinspire sasa you know be a playwright?
Yeah. Growing up, my mom was a creative. Lakini sio creative like out there. Creative wa chini in the house. Everything we did was creative. Those were days of akina jua kali, you know, and so there was a lot. Yes, and so there was a lot of those Sheng events. I don't know if you guys know British Columbia Embassy. Inaitwa nini? British Columbia something.
British High Commission.
High Commission, yeah. There used to be events there called WAPI.
Yeah.
Remember WAPI?
Yeah, pale go down.
Yes. And I used to go there as a kid, from a kid mpaka preteen, because I was obsessed. I was obsessed with the culture, graffiti, matatu culture,
yes.
poets, rap ciphers. Like those are the things that really drove me. And then becoming a preteen, you have guys who, now we were in high school around the same time, Akina Camp Mula.
Yeah.
They're coming up, they're showing their proper talent, you know. Yes. You have Akina Blinky Bill, Mudhoni, Drama Queen. You have, all these creatives that are really, really making a scene in Nairobi. And I was obsessed with it. I was like, I'm going to go to every music listening party, even if I'm under 18. I just want to hear it, you know? And so I was really driven by that. And then in school, I was obviously doing just like acting and following my theater teacher, Nyumayake, she's saying, change the lights. I'm there, number one, changing it so I can show initiative. I just really wanted to do it. Then when I was around 13, 14, my dad had a studio. And
a production studio,
everything studio.
Okay.
Right, there was music, and all the producers were there, Kina Bubs on the track, everybody. And I started learning the inside world of a creative. What goes behind the music, the writing. Yeah. Guys sitting with guitars in the middle of the night, doing riffs all night to get the perfect thing. Going to do a music video, doing the whole treatment for the music video, and who's gonna be there, whatever nini, all that. And seeing behind the scenes really made me think, okay, I really love this.
Yeah.
I love the process.
So Freddy, for context, hiyo wapi ndio imeproduce Octopizo, imeproduce Calligraph Jones, imeproduce Femi One, imeproduce Jua Kali. Ilikuwa ni contest ya rappers. So ni rapping battles na freestyles.
Nakumbuka kuna time Calligraph Jones alisema alikuwa ameenda kwa stage watu wakambu.
Yes.
That's how he got motivated.
Yeah.
I love that.
Ni through happy. Ilikuwa British Council pale go down, pale inda. So that's how you came, you now grew into art, eh?
Yeah.
And I like how you've talked when you fuse the American concept and the Kenyan concept, trying to build a balance and trying to build maybe a comparison between the two worlds, the American world and the African world, the Kenyan world. Now you as an African woman, directing an American play that was written maybe in the 19th century. How is it? How do you do the casting? How do you do the directing? Inakwaje? Is it easy or what?
Hey, there's a whole team. There's a whole team, and it's not just me. Like for me now, I'm performing in the African American play, but I am producing the Sheng play. That's now my vision, my production, my everything. It's so cool to hear their stories. We're so parallel. And I think there's this fake diaspora wars, which I really hate because it's full of ignorance. Because our lives are so parallel.
Yeah.
Being in this production, seeing the way they did it Kitambo is so cool. And then, they revised it and seeing the modernity, the way it's been blended into now, our society right now is so cool. But I think there's such a difference theatrically between Kenyan and American productions. I think Kenyan productions, think of drama festival, it's so full of movement.
Did you one day, sorry for the interjecting, did you one day play at the National Theatre?
I wanted to so bad. I was only in 844 for 3 years.
Oh.
And I wanted to do it within those 3 years, but I wasn't able to. That's something my mom did. Everybody around my family did, and I was obsessed with it. But watching it, because I watched it.
Did your mom act in the highest level of acting in Kenya?
Not highest, just drama festival, school,
Akufika
State House Girls.
Mama Kayai?
I wish. I want to see her there, Mom, please.
Hey.
But she's a Chinyamaji performer, but she's a brilliant creative. I mean, me and my little brother, he's 13, he's writing his book. He's almost complete, yeah. And so it's all because of her. I mean, we watch her and we learn
from the mom,
her.
yeah?
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, if you produce a Sheng-inspired play, who are your target market? Who are you targeting? The Kenyans? The Kenyans in America or the Kenyans in Kenya?
I think the way I'm doing it, I'm doing it for my people. Kenyans in America and Kenyans in Kenya, we all have the same kind of experiences. We have the same culture, generally. And I think it will relate to everybody. Because the work I'm doing, it's not a Kenyan in America play. It's Kenya.
It's Kenya.
And I'm sure Kenyans here will find it nostalgic, maybe. Interesting. They'll remember things,
Yeah.
But I think Kenyans in Kenya will be like, I get that. I relate to that. And those stories are relevant to me right now. And that's what I want. I mean, being here is just a stage.
So how do they access it? Do you like stage a play, then record, then now give it to them electronically, or how do they access it?
Well, the plan is to be at the Kenya International Theatre Festival, either this year or 2026, depending, because this year I have a few productions in Seattle. But that's the bigger goal. I am so inspired by Kina Pascal,
Tokodi.
R.I.P. Charlie. Those guys are brilliant. We have to talk about Patricia Kihoro. She has been putting on shows for such a long time. She's a brilliant mind.
Big ups to the Akina Abel Mutua, Akina Director Phil.
Yes.
Kate actress. Big up to them.
Those are the people who have been pioneering. Right? Drew Gush is brilliant.
Now wanna say loud my shows, maze.
Political activism within all your work, right? It's so important. That's our protest.
Satires.
Yeah.
Now, umenikumbusha, have you ever done any festival, art, play?
Not yet,
but you play.
We're going to the biggest theatre festival in the world this August called Edinburgh Festival Fringe.
Where?
In Scotland.
In
Scotland, yeah. It is the oldest and biggest theatre festival in the world. This specific play that we've translated, or I've translated, it won an award in 2001 at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty big deal to come back. It's the return, the 25th anniversary of the win. And so that's going to be my first entrance into competition or festival or whatever. But I don't think it'll change much for me, because the content of my work is what's really important for me. Like, if people everywhere can see what I'm talking about, which is relevant politics in Kenya, femicide, missing children,
abductions.
Mental health, abductions, corruption. Those are important topics that need to be talked about. Gender-based violence. It's insane.
So from me, from the outside looking in, from what I think, festivals on Jeremy Musana, because you get to meet so many people, playwrights, promoters, marketers, actors, so you get to learn and share a lot of ideas. So I think you're going there, you're also going to learn and to showcase what you've produced, what you've worked on. I can only pick one thing on your play, and that one thing can be the tweak, can change the entire perception of you in in the future directions.
Yeah.
So you never know. So kuna hii inaitwanga, I don't know whether I'll be right in my pronunciation. Sudan ama Sudan iko Netherlands. Do you know about it? Festival.
Sweden. It's called what?
Sudan.
Sudan.
Sundane.
Oh, the Sundance Festival?
I guess.
Oh, I think that's mostly film,
Oh, it's film?
but almost there.
Oh.
I mean, that's definitely the plan. Like, screenwriting is a major goal, but lazima nipitie grassroots. I really have to follow the path. Theater is such a great foundation for acting, art, producing, directing, whatever I'm going to be. So, yeah.
So I want to take you back. I'm sorry. I want to take you back. Sasa in WADAS ni kujiachilia. WADAS hatunga script.
Kujiachilia, yes.
Hatunga script. So are you part of a performing art movement, a club? And how did you join them? The one in Seattle now. How did you join them? Ilikuwaje kwa join accept that udem pia ako juu.
Yeah.
Udem ako na content maze.
Yeah.
We need in this team, in this group. Is it like a theatrical team, a group, is it an art? I don't know.
It's a production company. It's 3 production companies. It's next
what?
Thursday.
Inaitwa?
The play?
I know the company.
The production company. There's 3.
Okay.
Kuna next Thursday, Brown Box Theaters, and A Justice Network. So A Justice Network is Seattle-based, mostly a dance company, but they're non-profit. Brown Box Theaters is the original writers of the play. They are that is their theater company. They've had a few plays out here. And then you have Next Thursday, which is the director, Tyrone Brown. He's basically the creative genius behind all the way the whole thing has been put together and the way it blends. And that's his company, Next Thursday. And he's based out on the East Coast. And so those are the 3 production companies that I joined. And the way I joined, I'm sure you, living in Seattle, you know that a lot of people here work in tech and in corporate, right?
Yes,
and that was my world for such a long time. And it was so draining. Unajua kuna watu that thrive in those environments. 9 to 5, unajua uko na schedule, this is the thing that you're going to do, and you're done.
Yeah.
But I think I was struggling in that system. I'm a creative. I think it just wasn't working for me.
Yeah.
You're doing someone else's work. It has no benefit to you.
You need an outlet.
Yeah.
Somewhere that you can go release.
Something where I can throw my ideas, you know?
Yeah.
And want to be represented by the people that are taking my ideas, you know?
Yeah.
And so I mean, in Seattle, I had no clue where the creative scene was. I've been in the non-profit scene for a long time. You know, to cultural events here and there, nazijuanga, right? But a proper traditional theater scene, didn't know anything about it. There's a lady I connected with on LinkedIn. Her name is Ebony Arunga.
Arunga.
She is the executive director of the Langston Hughes Performance Arts Institute in Seattle.
She's a Kenyan?
Yes, she's a Kenyan. Classic theater company in Seattle. Very old. Langston Hughes Performing Arts Institute is a part of Seattle Parks and Recreation. So it's a historical site. And I was like, okay, let me see what she's up to. You know, when you're trying to find Kenyans who are in your world, I'm like, okay, I'm searching the website, and I'm like, let me sign up for a newsletter, see what they have going on. And that's strictly a Black kind of African American production company or performance arts institute. And they sent me a letter. I think it was November. They were like, we're looking for volunteers for a play.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I really hate my job, man. I was like, let me give myself a break. You know, it's after work. I was like, let me just go and see what it's about. I went there and I was the only volunteer.
Oh.
And they were like, basically like, the director, Tyrone, I love him, but that day he was, you know, he's a traditional director, very strict. Alikuja na notebook presentation, he was like, here's what you need to do. Figure it out. You have 30 minutes, we're about to start. So I had to go and figure out, you know, kuwasha lights a stage, cue sheet, kuangalia what's going on, you know, reading the whole script. And I kind of just, that suddenly became my world. I was like, nimeingia groove.
Where I belong.
Yeah, and it was a full Black space. You know, it's so hard to find that in Seattle sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's also so empowering when you're in a space like that. No. Sound engineer, Black. Director, Black. Actors, Black. Writers, Black. Yeah. You feel some sort of like nyumbani feel, you know, like I can settle down and do what I need to do. Yeah. And that's how I started.
Acceptance, kwanza.
Yeah. And they don't judge. I think the US is just full of stupid microaggressions. Sometimes you're in a space you just like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like people are pretending.
You feel like you're fitting in.
Yeah. There's no need for me to force myself to fit in. I want to feel safe. And that's how I felt there. After the play was done, which was sold out, it was a brilliant production. They reached out to me. They were like, can you be a part of the team?
Yeah, like permanently now.
Yeah, and after a few discussions, it was like, can you be the co-chair of the project, and can you write? Can you produce? Okay, like they saw what I could do. Can you translate this whole play? Yeah. Can you do a production about it? Yeah. Do you want to do bigger productions with this? Yeah. And so it's just them. And these are seasoned guys who've been in the industry for years, like 2 decades plus, and they know their stuff. So for them to give me, to trust me, to be like, yeah, we love your work. We love the way you do it. Here are the tools. Like, do what you need to do. Here's the opportunity. I was like, I mean, what else could I need out here? Because this is what I've wanted for such a long time. This is what I was doing back home before I moved here, you know? And then you move here and you have to kind of...
Shift.
Unashift kila kitu. You have to be like tunnel vision. You have to survive. Culture shock. You're just trying to make it in this fast-paced place. But that just... It felt like home.
Next time you meet her, muulize kama anajua Esther Arunga. Do you know Esther Arunga?
I haven't met her yet. Can you imagine that? I've been to Langston Hughes like 5 times, and I never, I mean,
do you guys like talk on WhatsApp, on call, phone call?
I work with the people under her.
Oh, under.
Yeah, but I've never, every time, like, I was even at the Seattle Black Film Festival, and there was like, you know, Forrest Whitaker, the actor?
Who?
Forrest Whitaker.
No, I don't.
Forrest Whitaker.
Whitaker, yeah.
Brilliant guy. His son is a very big director.
Part of your team?
Oh, not part of my team, but he was there and we were talking with him. That was a whole event that she was supposed to be there, and I was hoping to see her, but soon. She's obviously a very busy woman.
Okay.
But
Freddy, kuna kitu kusema?
Yes. So, first of all, congratulations to you. I can tell just by the way you're speaking right now, we can tell like this is your passion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So kudos to you.
Asante.
So I want to go through the history. How did your family take about you pursuing poetry as just? Would you say it's just a side job or just something?
This is my career.
Right.
My mom is like, you should have done it sooner.
Trust in the family. The mom used to do it.
She's like, you should have done this sooner. Like, it's where my happiness is, you know? There's no pressure of... I guess in my family, there's no, like, traditional ati kuwa lawyer, kuwa daktari. Like, there's nothing. I think my dad's family, everybody there is medics. But on my mom's side, it's fully creative. She's like, do what makes you feel happy. And that's been the case my whole life.
Do what butters your bread.
Yeah. Because, I mean, to be honest, we've seen people in our family who've done the traditional thing to be successful, and they're still miserable. Like, why? Why are you doing something to impress other people?
Our drive happiness.
Yeah.
I'm a medic, lakini si drive happiness kwa education profession yangu. But I'm a medic, unaona? But your satisfaction. It happens. So big up to Jima. Do you know Jima?
No, who's Jima?
Jima is the one who introduced us to you.
He was at the show.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I seen him. He left early.
I don't know, but he's the one who told us that Keke, kuna dem hapa anafanya storytelling. Dem akona story.
Gosh, no, shout out to him for real.
Yeah,
he reached out to me. He was like, I really
it's part
love
of us,
show.
by the way.
Yeah.
It's part of us, but today hajapatikana.
Yeah.
Na yeye ndo alitu-introduce kwako. Akasema tupatie platform.
Oh my God, shout out to you. I love this.
If you were to access your plays your works, where do we go to?
Okay. I have a production coming.
Is the poster ready that we can paste it on the show?
I will send you the link. We have an Eventbrite.
Okay.
And then after that, we have a show hopefully coming up at the new Seattle Aquarium.
Yeah.
The new waterfront.
I've seen the pictures online.
We should be having an event there soon. And then straight to Scotland, we have 2 weeks of shows. Back to back to back. Come back to Seattle. And we have Langston Hughes, where we're going to have Black Dick Matters. But we also have a few shows coming up before that. A residency, which is, yet to be announced. So that's coming up. So there's a lot of things coming up. I'm learning a lot of people don't know me as a writer and a playwright. Meaning to watch in
They know you as an actress.
Yeah, and just a creative.
But
Just
ukiwa
person.
stage unakanga uko possessed, you now bring out your real self.
I want that to happen. I don't want to see. I want to be severed. You guys have watched Severance on Apple TV? Is when people, you've watched it?
I've watched it,
I want to be severed. When mtu anaingia kazi, brain yake ina switch off anakuwa mtu same mwingine. Yeah.
Now,
That's what
I
I want.
want to talk about the artistic freedom in America.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Where you can produce anything bila problem from the government ama from the authorities.
Yeah.
Unlike in Kenya, you saw what happened to Butere Girls. You saw what has been happening to even graphic designers in Kenya. Walichora Kasongo, hata Rose Njeri wa juzi huyu.
Acha kusonga, yeah.
Unaona?
Yeah.
So, what do you think about the American creative freedom? That you can do what you want. Look at now the period that you're organizing the Black Dick Matters. Look at it. In Kenya, labda ungekuwa cancelled, labda ungekuwa judged, labda inge bring controversy, inge bring returns to you guys through audienceship, ama through buying of tickets. So, what do you think about the American creative freedom? That you can produce what you want, bila pressure. And also, what do you think about the American venye wako na unity? I don't know kama wako na union, that they fight for each other.
Like the Writers Guild and Actors Guild and things like that. I'll say this. I'm not deeply familiar with traditional American Actors Guilds or Writers Guilds yet. What I know is they're also very systemically racist. So there's things you can produce, there's things you can't. But it's kind of like Kenyan, like mtu mwenye unajua, or, things like that. What's going on in the US right now in terms of artistic freedom, it's not like people won't be caught, because the people in power right now are kind of psychotic, right?
Yeah.
We live in Washington, which is a blue state, but it's a bit more freer than other places. I think the racism here is very discreet.
Yeah.
It's a passive-aggressive racism. Mtu atakufungia opportunity. They won't tell you we hate you, but they'll block things for you. And so I'm not trying to be in that system. Nimesha watch a lot of people that I admire go through that system and suffer.
Yes.
Because they need to be in those systems to, do a TV show, to go on live TV, to be on SNL, to be on a Netflix show, whatever. Me, I want to build my own. There's people, like, look at Issa Rae, look at Quinta Brunson. These are producers and writers that have used social media as their
platforms.
Their platforms. That's what I
stages.
want to do. But I guess in the US, it's a bit easier. There's less thought of how many Subarus are outside waiting for me.
Yeah, following me.
There's less stress of that, and it kind of gives me a confidence to push more. But it's not that it's freer than home. There's a lot of blockages, and it's just who is mjanja enough to go around and
In Kenya, we have a lot of Lupita Nyong'os. We have a lot of there's a lady called Koi. She unamjua anact na Elhaj TV, anacting huko California. So tuko na a lot of talent pale mtaani. So how do they make it to reach maybe the higher levels? Ama how do they make it to be like you? Ule mwenye sasa akukabiri ama ule boy mwenye akodandora. How do we nurture them and how do we make them? I know that Kenya, it's only through schools, the primary, secondary festivals, and maybe the churches. Those are the talent apps that we have. Beyond that, national theater, then now you're gone. But thank God, currently we took on social media sphere. People are doing skits online and they're making a fortune of it.
Yeah.
People like Crazy Kena, Jugush, kina Mtua. So ule mwenye anataka kufika maybe the big stage, anataka kufika festival level. How would you tell them? Wafanye nini ama I don't know how to put it out, but what would you think that inatufanya sisi wenye tuko Kenya atufike venye nafaa tufike full potential? Yeah.
First of all, Kenyan systems are whack. They're so whack. The leaders in those media systems are whack.
Right.
They're terrible. They are not artists. They are not creatives, and they have no idea what's going on in that space. I think it's because here it's Harambe.
Yeah.
It's Harambe. You want to go here? okay, as a group we'll put some money together.
The community.
I think that's what we need to do. Third spaces like churches and schools where people are able to congregate and do these things, they're nice.
Social halls.
But they need to be invested in by the community. And I guess that means encouraging the community to go to a theater play. You know how you guys have watched Nairobi Half-Life?
Yes.
You know that first scene.
It.
You know exactly what I'm talking about when he was on stage.
Yes.
And he was expressing himself. I love that scene.
Yes.
Yeah. We need more of that in shags, in random spaces. We need that. We need to encourage it to make people feel like it's a safe space. Because guys, when they do it, they're told that.
Awinja alifanya hiyo kitu through Disco Matanga.
What?
Yes, alipeleka play kwao Vihiga and incorporated the locals, the villagers. Hao ndio walikuwa part of the cast kwa play yake. And she's iko YouTube, Disco Matanga.
I need to go.
Yeah, she's trying to portray the Bunyore culture, the way the Bunyore do their rituals when somebody is dead, the way mambo na maybe wife inheritance, mambo na maybe upbringing, anataka ku bring out through a play yenye akona experienced actors na wale waocha na ina come out very perfectly and watch it. You go YouTube.
I need to watch that.
And
it's people need to support that because there's this discourse of MTV Sugar, the new MTV Sugar.
Yeah, MTV Sugar Mashariki.
Yes, MTV Sugar Mashariki.
Odek is my favorite person.
Oh Odek. Yes. I love it. I love the recreation of it. I think it's brilliant. I think Kenyans need to. I know there's this discourse of, MTV Mashariki was a little bit more westernized and all of that, and urban, I think there was urban. And then there's arguments on or social commentary about how we need more kienyeji shows. We need more machachari. We need more Inspector Mwala, Papa Shirandula, things like that. Me, I agree. I think we need to have a balance. I think there's shows like that. They're brilliant. There's a market for that.
But to your surprise, I'm sorry to interject. Saizi, tuko na so many plays. Achana hata mana.
Yeah, I'm on a play group. Yeah,
achana hata na mana sitcoms hizo makina Mwala, kina Winja, kina Jalas. Achana na hizo. Saizi tuko na so many plays. The people are producing plays that run up to 1 hour, 2 hours. Akina Belmutu anafanya ma plays pale noma sana. Ziko mpaka Netflix.
Yes.
We are trying. Everybody wana complain infrastructure USAID na pia the investors are afraid of investing in art. Na pia I think we over depend and over rely on the government support so much.
Yeah.
Unaona?
Yeah.
So inafaa ikuwe ni public private partnership.
Yes, I agree.
Come together. Badala kujenga malls bila Abel sama daily, badala kujenga malls jingine hata just one theater kama ile
moja tu community center something
ile BK yenye corona ile BK arena 10,000 capacity,
big beautiful arena
in our basketball, in our big concerts. Sasa Kenya for you to watch an artist mwenye ametoka majuu lazima uende Rwanda ama uende ese.
And they don't come to Kenya because there's no infrastructure. People are always like, why are international artists not coming to Kenya? Do you know the infrastructure that they need? And Kenyans pay enough taxes to pay for that, but the taxes are not going to where they need to go. They're going to other people's pockets. That is the government should invest in the arts because it's an important part of society. But I also think now that we know the government does not care, I mean, it's been shown for so long, there needs to be community investment in these things. Alumni clubs, people who have been in all these schools that now are okay. Jenga a small little community center where kids can express themselves.
Like we have the book clubs, the book reading clubs.
Yeah, I love that. Like there needs to be more of that because Kenyans, we are such a creative country. Unaingia TikTok is just full of Kenyans doing everything.
Skits. Everyday skits.
Everything. And they're so brilliant. Unawatch mtu ako in the bushes. But his whole script is brilliantly done. Like it's quality. There needs to be more investment in that. But another thing I wanted to say is social media is now our platform. And that's where people are getting paid. That's where they're getting seen. That's where they're getting appreciation. I think artists need appreciation sometimes to have an encouragement to go ahead. Because there's a lot of shame. Imagine you're telling your mom back home, I really want to be an actor right now.
Alafu nauliza, what else do you do apart from acting? wanajua
that always that
wanajua
question.
si capital intensive sana. It bring do venye nafa.
Yeah.
But na bring do. Saizi what I'm happy about is that Kenyans wame accept na wame appreciate art.
Yeah.
That they can buy and they can sell out.
And they support.
Venues.
They support.
Wanaweza wanabuy tiko online pre-order mpaka wana sell out.
Yeah,
just, that never used to happen before.
Exactly. Just to add on that, niliona huyu Charlie fulani anaitwa Alfred, Alfred, is it Alfred? Huyu jamaa Abel Mutua, there you go. He was talking about how the production inafanywa huko Rwanda and how Kenyans hatuna theater yenye tunaweza kuwa na capability to be able to host a big crowd. Now, Muso nakuja kwako kidogo, unaelewa? You're from Kenya.
Yeah.
You came here. Good thing about you is your parents are actually supporting you when it comes to, you're following your dreams, especially following your talent. Unaelewa?
Yeah.
Kuna mtu ametoka Kenya sahi. She's pretty much doing the same thing you're doing. What would be your advice? What would be the path they can take? Because you're talking about Langston. Some of us have not even been there. We've been there just because of Kenyan performances, those kind of stuff,
Yeah.
Kuna time kina King Kaka walikuja huko tukaenda huko, we didn't know anything about it. But kuna Mkenya ametoka Kenya. Now in the US, what you do can do a lot of stuff. Unaona kama kina Beyonce wanaandikiwa lyrics, unaelewa? Akina Beyonce wanaandikiwa lyrics, wanaitwa ghost writers,
yeah.
They're poetic because when it comes to that you have to sink in the rhythm, you have to sink in all the poetic stuff,
Yeah.
So nataka people to understand that what you're doing is also a career because you're doing it full time.
Yeah.
Kuna Mkenya amekuja saa hii labda anapiga double na ameamua hii mambo ya poet aliambo kutoka home akiwa mdogo. You will never succeed. What would be your advice towards them, please?
First of all, practice nyumbani first. Be comfortable. Like, it's a real career and it's a real talent. And even if you don't want to share it, you have to. Can I excuse myself for a second?
Okay, no problem.
No worries.
Wanasema preparation meets success. Right?
Better preparation means success. Sindio?
So practice,
Keep
practice then uta.
Yes.
Keep practicing, but also the way I did it was putting myself in those spaces. When you come here, sometimes it's very isolating.
Yeah.
You live somewhere like Federal Way or Linwood or like Redmond, so far away from the hustle and bustle, right?
Yeah.
And America is not like home where there's like a landmark like this. Places look the same. You can live in a neighborhood and not know what's going on in there.
True that.
Use the internet. The internet is your friend. And that would have taken, because me, I looked for a newsletter. I looked for people. I went on LinkedIn. I was like, who is a creative in my area and connect with them. And I volunteer a lot. Even when I'm working, I volunteer in other spaces. Just kuona from behind. Alafu unakuwa na behind the scenes look at what they are doing from the beginning to the end. Vile wali set up, vile wali arrange sign-in shit. You have to do like the basics. What kind of props did they bring in? How did they bring it in? How did they set up? Did they have a stage manager? Did they have a producer, director? What did they look like? What were they saying? YouTube University is a real thing. It's a real thing.
Yeah, true that. Yes, yeah.
And it's like I know a lot of Kenyans who have learned coding and just a lot of things from the internet.
Production-wise, everything. Yeah.
Use that to your advantage. Memorize or take all that information and then take initiative.
Yeah.
Unaingia unaambia mtu, I really like to do this.
Really?
Because I feel like a lot of these art spaces are looking for people like...
And there's no harm in trying. Just try. Try and fail. I'm try and make it.
And another thing I want to tell Kenyan youth, our story deserves to be told. Imagine our history for a long time has been oral history.
Yeah.
Na inaweza isha na sisi. Gen Z.
But unajua oral, the best way, the easiest way ya kupass generational culture ni through word of mouth.
Yeah.
But now we can do it now audiovisually.
Yeah. We have all these platforms. Yeah. There's a podcast I really enjoyed that I think really changed the game for me, and I don't think they're doing it anymore. Matire Ngemi. Have you heard of that podcast?
No.
Brilliantly done. I think it was produced here in the States. And they had 3 people on there talking about deep Agikoyo culture.
Wow.
Not this sugar-coated culture, not the male-centered culture of Agikoyo, but the real nitty-gritty that really makes you change your perspective. Knowing your history will change your life.
I've seen another one. It's on YouTube. It's called The Two Nilots.
I need to watch that then.
It's comparing the Maasais and the Luos. The Luos are the river lake Nilots. The Maasai are
lake Nilots, water
are the plain Nilots. So wanna compare the cultures.
Yeah.
Some wanna contrast, zingine zina match. You never know.
Yeah, na unaenda huko ukiongelesha. Me, I talk. One thing I learned, I think, from being in the US is networking. You have to. Americans love small talk.
Right.
They love for you to come up to them and talk to them about something small.
Yeah. Just open
open up. They want to know your name. They'll remember you. And
Americans
so
are very funny.
Yeah.
How are you today? I woke up in the morning, I brushed my teeth, I went blah blah blah.
my cousin's flying in. We're gonna have dinner.
Yeah. One thing about Americans, they're not really private. Unaelewa? Mtu anaweza kwambia about even brother-in-law unajua afanye kazi kwa bidii. Unaelewa? So I want to take this opportunity to actually appreciate both of you because
thank you.
You have actually, gone beyond just being Kenyans. You know what I mean? The fact that Keke Roy is going to be able to represent us in FIFA, unaelewa? I'm sure you'll meet new faces, you know? And new faces will ask you where you're from. You'll probably tell them where you're from, unaelewa? I'm from Kenya. And the same thing goes with you, Muso, What you're doing, especially telling our stories, it's very remarkable, It's amazing, and we actually give you that credit back to you as well.
Oh, thank you.
Now, I'm coming back to you, you know? Some people have the tendency to forget about passion and the career path. Unaelewa? You can tell someone to do the due diligence. Unaelewa? Unaweza ambia mtu practice. When do they know this is it? When do they know I should actually take this path? Because at some point, son, I'm sure we've talked about the success of what you're doing. But I want you to be in a position to just tell us what was one of the scenes whereby you felt like, I think I should stop doing this.
The morning of my stage reading, I was like, oh, hell no. I've not introduced myself to Kenyans here in Washington as a playwright. And the Kenyans that were coming to my stage play are not in my circle.
Oh.
People who, and I
friends of friends.
Friends of friends. People who support you genuinely are not usually in your circle.
Yeah.
Right.
There are other people.
Now, wako nasema hivyo akiwa hapa.
Yes.
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 Said that when he was here.
Yeah.
Right. It's true. So I was nervous. I was like, well, so who's going to show up aside from my circle? And people showed up. That feeling, it's, what's the word for it? You feel like you don't deserve to do it, or you don't think that it will.
Overwhelming.
Yeah, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot in the systems built around us, and I want to talk specifically to Kenyan creatives here in the US. You're black here. You're an immigrant here.
Yeah.
There's so many layers against us.
Against us, yeah.
And so it's so easy to feel like, man, I don't deserve to do this, or I shouldn't do this. But I think and this is something that, I love therapy. Everybody go to therapy. Like, therapists are the best. And therapists can be your mom, your sister, somebody you can talk to, right? A confidant. Whatever you're thinking, your ideas, they are valid. They are real, they are creative. Mtu mwenye anatengenezanga TikTok inaenda viral na anakula 2 chips.
Yeah, boita. Just being foodies.
I'm a picture of banana.
Exactly. So trust
How to peel
yourself.
a banana.
Yes.
You can so many views.
Yes.
Right?
How to drink water.
How to drink water.
Maze.
There's just such, I guess those are creatives too, right?
Yeah.
But don't doubt yourself. Inye kitu wenye unafanya kuna at least 50 people around the world. This is global now. We're not just dealing with, now we have to talk to NTV or Citizen TV to promote our stuff. You have a platform. You can reach millions of people if you'd like, right? Your work is valid. Kuna mtu ata relate to your work, and it's important. Artists, how many times have we gone to see artwork? Nona tumadhogodhanio painted on a, but it's expression, right?
Abstract na inafetch millions of dollars.
Millions. Wewe ni nani?
Ni rangi tu.
Yeah. And there's a lot of, and this is real talk, there's a lot of mediocrity in Western world because they have really pushed themselves to be the best.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
But African creativity and African stories will and always, and they have always been amazing, brilliant.
And should be told by Africans.
And they should be told by Africans.
Hata unachukua Denzel Washington.
Anapiga Wakanda.
Afanye, why?
Anapiga Wakanda baba.
Actors in Africa who can do that role perfectly.
With the real accent.
Yeah.
and then to make it worse, if when I make up accent, you're like, that does not even belong to Africa.
No, somebody was paid to coach him on that accent.
Yes.
Not to speak in
Yeah,
that accent.
there's accent trainers. There is.
Yeah.
But why? Tuna depend so much on other people, and I know it's because we don't have the resources, but it starts with us telling our stories.
Nollywood industry in Nigeria, in a tribe. Iko na best actors wengine hata wanasomea art huku majundo wako Africa.
Yes.
Just go and take one of them, do auditions, pick the best.
So
Kenya tuko na pia some of the best actors,
but it's a tricky thing.
Yeah.
Swali kwako tena nakuja kwako Muso. Manake leo tunakupiga ngangari. We are tackling you both left and right.
Oh yes.
So nataka kujua Muso, do you think, what to base on just Kenyans ourselves, do you think we are our own enemies?
In terms of supporting maybe your work, your artistry, your piece.
Because Muso, kuna time yenye unapiga show yako, you're like, I'm more comfortable if it's just
if the audience is white.
White.
Audience is non-Kenyan.
Non-Kenyan.
Yeah, kwa sababu hiyo swali kabla ujibu hiyo swali ni tricky. Manake if you're from Africa, every time you tell mzungu ama a white person that I'm from Africa, they get,
Excited.
You know? So you can make up stuff, they'll believe you. Kuna story niliwaambia Simba. So do you feel like we are our own enemies? Ama you are confident enough to be able to perform in front of wazungu, white people, than Africans from Kenya specifically?
I think I'm tired of performing in front of white people. I appreciate they support. These are the people that are putting in money to support the arts. They believe in it, especially out here in Seattle, right? But I think it pushes me to another level to perform in front of Kenyans. These are the guys that know my words, my inflections, vile naisema. Does it make sense? Is it?
Yeah.
Is it even funny? Is it relatable?
They relate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that Kenyans are supporters. All these events. I mean, look at BN when he came the other day. That place was packed.
Fully packed.
Packed.
Were you there?
Heavy loaded.
I was working. But looking at the footage,
Yes.
I saw him last time when he came.
Okay.
Please, guys, don't make me feel bad.
You saw him last time when he came by himself with the Sauti Sol, or when we came with the
I didn't do I know he came with Madaraka Festival a long time ago.
Yes,
solo.
by himself, yeah.
And then he came with Sauti Sol, I think it was 2023.
Yes.
I really loved that one. That was
like
brilliant. That was their last show together, right?
Yeah.
So far.
Was it at Langston or where was it at? It was in a theater
It was in a theater, but I don't remember
we could not even hear the sound properly. But credits to.
But it was. You remember how it was packed? It was huge. It was
very
nice.
Kenyans are supporters. Madaraka Festival. Kenyans are supporters.
Right.
There needs to be more for them to support, and there needs to be more visibility, because Kenyans have always been supporters. I mean, we've always been in the art. TV ilikuwa imejaa all these different artistic things. From Kitambo, from Voice of Kenya, there was so many skits, right?
VOK, yeah.
Then you have KBC. KBC had so many Kenyan content. I don't want to say content creators because that was real TV, but performers, actors, writers, creatives.
Artists, yeah.
KTN for a long time had series and sitcoms that were brilliantly done.
Yeah.
And TV, of course, you can never forget Citizen, right?
Yeah.
And Kenyan support.
Wale revolutionized industry mbaya sana.
Right?
Pioneer sasa wao sana walichafua industry wakaibloisha.
Right?
Citizen big up Washiri Munene, somebody like that, yeah.
You have Kitambo, we had Red Corner, all the comedians. Then we moved to Churchill, right?
Yeah, ridiculous. It's all gradual stage evolution.
Yeah. And so I believe that Kenyans will support, and they will, they just need to see, they need to know what's going on. And so it's just up to Kenyans to step up. I mean, I know there's so many performers.
On the contrary, we once hosted a comedian, alikuwa Churchill show, anaitwa Owago Nyiro. I don't know whether you know him. He used to say Ichieni. That was his catchphrase. So Wago Nyiro, on the contrary, because he's trying to go global. So he's saying that he doesn't want to appeal to Kenyans alone currently. He's trying
like a global reach
to trap other nationals and other races so that he can blow and be an international artist. So somebody would argue that you trying to appeal to the Kenyans is like now trying to minimize your catch. You know, you don't wanna cast your net wide in the lake. You just wanna go there, pick a portion, then drop the net, then catch whatever you catch and leave. So you just wanna be a localized artist internationally. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So for him, he wanna be a global artist. So he wanna appeal to the global world, the global audience. He wanna make jokes that even a Mzungu can can laugh at. Not jokes that only Kenyans can understand. Unanielewa?
Nakushika.
So even you, I think if you're trying to impress the Kenyans, you are trying to minimize ama to limit your reach. Unaona? And you are trying to you are avoiding challenging yourself.
Yeah.
Life is about challenges.
Yeah.
Challenge yourself.
Yeah.
Crack a joke, make a play that Mzungu is on it with. Not only Kenyans.
But they have to come to us. Enough
Yes.
of going to reach to white people. I think it's enough. There's that global reach, yeah? You can, there's so many examples. Me, I'll take BN. I think BN and Sauti Sol are such great examples because they are global performers.
Yeah.
Right.
They have an authentic Kenyan sound that will always stay authentic, right?
Yes.
But they're able to reach people everywhere.
Yes.
Me, I think it's possible. I think there's a balance, but I don't think people should lose their Kenyanness to appeal to other people.
True
that. Content must be original, must stay relevant to us,
Yes.
but also can be relevant to other people. Other people can connect to us. Why is it we are in Kenya? Why are we relating to American stuff?
Because you're in America performing to Americans.
No,
I think
I'm saying in Kenya.
Yes.
Okay, in Kenya.
In Kenya, we consumed so much of American media, and we were able. Hata kama you know like 5. Look at guys in TZ. They don't speak English, but not all of them, right? Not all of them.
And endelea tu iko sawa.
Sorry. I've been in meme territory for too long these past few days, but they're able to connect to Western media no matter what. Western songs, hata kama they don't understand what they're saying.
Right.
They're connecting to it. Look at us. We watch telenovelas, even in English.
But
Yes.
you know, the Tanzanian artists are struggling to break into the global market.
I gotta tell you something, guys.
Tell us.
Even though music
Yes.
on its own is a language.
It's
a
a language.
language.
You can have so many things. You can beats, you can rhythms, you can sound.
Yeah.
Somebody can just pick something, one element in that music na relate nayo. Unaona, si mbaya, iko sawa. Even us, we vibe to a piano.
Yeah.
We vibe to Afro beats from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Some are sung in Yoruba, in Igbo, but to understand. We're just vibing. We used to vibe to Lingala.
Lingala, yeah.
And some of funeral songs. Wakipata buda wako ameweka highway standard, that's kwa
Exactly. You know the guy for Inde. Wow, that's a Lingala guy too. He loves dancing to
kumbe ni
Hata kasongo yenyewe atuelewi ni kasongo ni nini.
Kasongo tunaelewa.
yeah.
Mwenye aliimba ni buda wa kijana aliwa Kampmula.
Okay.
Which one?
Okay.
The anaitwa
Shapa man, yes.
Kasongo the composer and the play and the artist ni buda yake.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a
Kasongo inamaanisha ni jamaa aliacha demu wake Kongo akamkuasol Kenya ama ni vice versa. Demu aliacha bwanake Kongo akamkuasol Kenya. So akamfuata kuja kumtafuta. So the woman is searching for the husband in Kenya. Kasongo, where are you? I'm looking for you.
So you see,
too.
you see, it's interesting because for us, the way we translate it is totally different. Like for me, I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Me, I just know Kasongo is a failure. Because that's what we call the president, current president, you know what I mean? But nakuja kwako mson, nakuja kwako loud and clear. Nataka ko make sure because you can be able to hear me. When I asked him a question, you actually answered me, you want to go back to the Kenyans. Unaelewa?
Yeah.
Which I give you credit for that. Number two, what I would say is when we deal, especially in America, they get interested when we talk about stories about Africa because some of them have not been in Africa. You can make up stuff, they'll believe you.
Yeah.
So credit to you, be able to recognize that we can go back home, and be able to win back. Unajua, una recognize vinye bien anajua hivyo. Speaking of yen, Mr. Keke Roy, nataka nikwambie kitu moja baba, nataka kueleza kitu moja, Unajua hii song, halangisiana vile man, little mama. You know that song?
Yeah.
You know that song?
Yes.
Do you know that song? I heard it at H&M. Nilisikia song kwa H&M. I did not know anything about that song.
But Afrobeat is taking over.
But I'm telling you,
over.
what she's saying is, be yourself, be original, be authentic, and people will find the niche of who you are.
Yeah.
So manzi nakupatia credit for that because nilikuwa na expect answer yako ikue I'm gonna still be able to continue to produce my stuff to the white people because at the end of the day it gets interesting, but you just from that conversation, what it tells me, you're genuine of who you are, you're passionate of who you are. Someone say credit kabisa.
And it's activism.
What I'm gonna say is that your community gives you the foundation.
Yeah.
They are the foundation that you will step on as you go higher.
Yeah.
But kuna sasa ukifika level fulani, now you have the wings to fly. Now fly and explore and embrace the world.
Yes.
But you need them. You are people accept. They're gonna say that now Jima came to your performance. Jima didn't know you. You don't know Jima.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But Jima sent a good word.
Recommendation
of you.
Yeah.
Kuna dem hapa noma Keke mazee anafanya storytelling noma sana. Unaona? Jima hata akujui. He doesn't even know you deeply. Your artistry. Unaona? But now through Jima, okay, sasa Jima angekuwa maybe hata ni America, sasa hata donge ungekuwa Breakfast Club, American podcast.
Exactly.
I don't care about media like that.
I like it.
There's those systems, yani mkisoma production history, those systems need to be broken. It's like you need to do this to get here. You need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
You need to be on the Breakfast Club to have any relevancy.
I'm just saying, Yani.
Let me just be frank.
Yeah.
What questions of relevance did they ask Bien?
Zilikuwa
Bien is the one that really took initiative.
Za kijinga kwanza ule
Charlemagne the God. He's good at what he does. But it shouldn't be that we need to pass through these traditional systems, radio, live television, to be relevant. Imagine it's not real.
Thank you.
There's people that are brilliant, that have been found on Twitter, have been found on TikTok, and they are making massive production. Actors that are in major productions, wamepatwa TikTok. Sindio? Right now, one of Beyonce's musical directors, Sinimse alipata Twitter during COVID.
Wow.
Guy's just doing mixes in his room. And she was like, okay, I love that. I need to see. I mean, where else would someone that big see you than on social media and then on the internet? There's no other access like that. And so I think telling our stories, and by the way, let me bring up Beyonce again, because this is a person that is like at the top of her game.
Pedestal, right?
Production-wise.
Yeah.
Sonically wise, even the team that she has on tour is creme de la creme. First person to do stadium tours. She's on top of the world right now.
Right. Quality. Yeah.
It's not even just like fame, right?
Yeah.
The people that work for her, amewatafuta. Amewatafuta. I like the way you dance. Kuna mse dance yake and the last tour alimpata on TikTok video ene ikona like 50 likes.
Kuna time pia alichukua some South African dancers.
You remember
in one of our videos? Yeah. South African dancers wa wale wa amapiano.
Yeah.
Mpaka tuliona mpaka kuna time mpaka alifanya I think there was a girl who was having a pregnancy.
Yeah. She's been on tour for so long, and the thing is, these people are they want to connect with other creatives. They are tired of these systems. There are people that have been trying to break these systems. All these famous artists, they have their own production companies now. They have their own labels. Hakuna kutaka kungojea someone else. So I think Kenyans need to really push themselves, put themselves out there. Your stories are relevant. Your stories are needed. Our history is what these people want to hear. It's what they take. It's how they make movies. Wakanda is pulled from a lot of Kenyan culture.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
A lot of these...
King Lion.
Yeah, a lot of these samples are from Kenya, from Congo, from Uganda.
King Lion, the setting, the landscape.
Yeah.
The Lion story is based partly on Kenyan territory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hata remind, kuna a big director in Kenya, video director. The other day he was calling out DJs my DJs are play or promote the Kenyan culture. They don't play as much Kenyan music as much as they play their sets on maybe of other genres or other songs from elsewhere. Mimi nikamshow nika comment that nowadays majamaa hakuna gatekeepers. Kuna streaming sites. Kuna social media platforms that you can use to put out your work outside there. You don't have to depend on a DJ. No more DJ Pines in the industry.
Yeah. Yes. Gatekeepers.
Yes. No more the beat. As in no more media houses than you wanna gatekeep.
Yeah.
Do whatever you're doing. Look at the Ginga Chong.
flown.
They're sampling songs but wako wapi size? They've been doing tours.
Yeah, they become
Walifanya Australian
big.
tour. Yeah.
And when did they get big? See, it was around pre-COVID, post-COVID time.
Now up TikTok.
Yeah.
So just do you.
Do you.
Don't depend on anybody. Hakuna mambo gatekeeper, mabadas ni nini. So it's so good to have you around. Welcome back again. Will you come back again?
I'll come back.
Imekuwa story poa. I hope umejibamba.
Yeah.
Imekuwa vibe.
Yeah, it's been a vibe. Yeah.
So WAdas podcast. Isusemanga WAdas podcast.
Yes.
Tunajiachilia.
Tunajiachilia.
Yeah. Please support Muso.
Support Muso.
The movement, the art movement, the art club.
Yeah.
And support any art and any sport that is around you guys, maze.
Amesema listening stories to other people. Is here Nairobi gossip. Unaelewa?
No.
Listening stories to other people.
Yeah.
So, manze, nashukuru sana. Ama unasema deke?
Itasema, so inasema WAdas podcast. Tunajiachilia.
Yes.
So in 3, 2, 1. WAdas podcast.
Tunajiachilia.
Kaboom.
Kaboom.
I love that. That was fun.